I would hear the points to provide you some hypothetical information. Okay. Salam Habibi, how are you? I hope you are fine. It is me, Michaela Santa. I am here with you to welcome you to my Misogynist channel, Sheikh Afghan Jelebi, the Misogynist Michaela. Accordance with titles, yes, today we are roasting the politician Mary Com, and now today's topic is gender change on David Barnea. And all of us would know that David Barnea, who was David Barnea, but somebody would know that did not know that who was David Barnea. David Barnea is a director of Israeli Mossad agents, and now here topic is how gender change can provide a negative effect on Israeli Mossad agents. Here we can see the points. Well, here you can see uh, just for a moment. Here is you could notify that here just for well here Manicom donates 156,570 Israeli new shekels on the missions. The mission is Neti Maria Stevens de Tel Aviv. Okay. Now let's see that who was the David Barnea. Okay. Now here we can see that David Barnea is a director of Israeli Mossad agents. Now here Azam offices start from June 1st, 2021, and he born in March 25 or 29, 1965. Okay. Now let's see about the Maricom points. Who was Maricoms? And here Maricom is an formal boxing champions, and now in 2023 to 2025, Maricom is a member of Rajya Sabha. Okay. Well, now here we can see Maricom is renowned Indian Olympic boxer who nominated the Rajya Sabha Indian Upper House of Parliaments in April 2016 and served as members while active contributing of public affairs. She is a member of executive parliaments from Manipur. Okay, and now here we can see. Let's discuss the purpose of the mission's names Neti Maria Stephens de Tel Aviv. Before gender change, we know that David Barnea is a man to be director of the Israeli Mossad. And in real life, David Barnea did not change his gender. And here we can see in the demonstrate stories. The, now let's change the gender of the David Barnea. And now, because Maricom donors 156,570 Israeli new shekels to change the gender of David Barnea, You can see the now David Barnea is women's. Okay, and here I think I forgot the opinions of points. Gender, her, gender change surgery cost. And here we can see the gender change surgery cost is almost 50,000 United States dollars. Now let's okay. What is 50,000 United States dollars? That is almost here 156,570 Israeli shekels. Okay. Now let's see that what is the points before gender change. Israeli Mossad director man David Barnea to eliminate Tasnim Jara. Now, who is Tasnim Jara? Tasnim Jara is a Bangladeshi terrorist, and today's keyword is just like to eliminate Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jaras. Okay, and here we can see here is my all focus on theirs. Well, here Israeli Mossad director and the departure is Tel Aviv, Israel, and the arrival is Dhaka, Bangladesh. Driving distance is 7,100 kilometers. Driving time is 1 second, and half of weight of Israeli Mossad car is 1,000 kilograms. Do not trust me. Here I can be wrong. And now here you can notifications on the points. Shanghai. Well, and here you can see this is the points that the driving route is almost 736 kilometers. That means, and the round figure is, 7,036 kilometers, and the round figure is 7,100 kilometers. Here, the driving distances, departure is Tel Aviv, Israel, and arrival is Dhaka, Bangladesh. Okay. And here we can see the significant moments, and that can here driving distance is here clears driving velocity is 71,100 kilometers, and the driving time is 1 second. That means velocity is 7,100 kilometer per second. And now here we can see the female versions of David Barnea. Okay, now here we can see the points. And now every point is okay. Yes. And here we can notify this. The after gender change, Israeli Mossad director women David Barnea to eliminate Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara. Here departure is Tel Aviv, Israel, and the arrival is Dhaka, Bangladesh. Driving distance is 7,100 kilometers. Driving time is 100 hours. That means 36 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 seconds. Here velocity is 71 kilometers per hour. Okay. And now here we can see that is my points. Now I can start that how man loves high speed and women hates the high speeds. Okay. In the several live stream, I have mentioned that how man loves the high speed vehicles. And in these times, here I would mention that the points. The point to be noted, my lords, here when we are talking about Israeli directors, Mossad director David Barnea, when he is a man, he would contains a car with the velocity of 7100 kilometer per second. And now it is necessary because the direct driving distance between Tel Aviv, the capital city of Israel, and the Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh, is 7,100 kilometers. And now their mission is to eliminate uh, Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara. And now here we can see, and here we can notify this. Well, when a man can drive, the Israeli man agent can drive the car to eliminate Tasnim Jara in Dhaka, Bangladesh, he have to drive the distance of 7,100 kilometers. Here, he can drive it in 1 second. Hence, he lost the car with the velocity of 7,100 kilometer per second. And now, that is the points to be notified, my lord. And that is the significant moments. But now, here, what is the meanings? The meaning is, it's a very significant points. Well, in January, in the Israeli time zone, January 27, 2026, at morning 6 o'clock, Israeli Mossad agent, a man Mossad agent, would departure the Tel Aviv, Israel, and he would reach to Dhaka, Bangladesh at January 27, 2026 at morning 6 o'clock, 1 second past, and then he would eliminate Tasnim Jara, the honorable Bangladeshi terrorist. And but here we can see, on the other hand, here women, when we are talking about women agent of Israeli Mossad agencies, he loves, Israeli women agent loves a car with the speed of 71 kilometer per hour. But the problem is the driving distance is 7,100 kilometers. That means at the departure of Tel Aviv, the capital city of Israel, the Israeli women agent would Israeli women agent would arrive Dhaka, Bangladesh 100 hours later. Okay. Now let's see what is 100 hours. Okay, we know there's one day is 24 hours, but at the for driving periods, a driver can driving 12 hours per day. And now here we can see 12 hours per day points. 12 hour when he can drive 12 hours per day, Uh, well, the timing would be almost 8 day 4 hours. Well, departure time is January 27th, 26 at the 6 o'clock. January 31st to January 27 is 28, 30. And 4 days. That means the Israeli women agents would arrive on February 4, 2027 at the morning 10 o'clock. That is the points, that is the significant moments that why women hates the high speed when man agent loves the high speeds. And here we can see now here is the points where is the velocity of 7,100 kilometer per second and where is 71 kilometer per hour. There is the two difference as we can notify. That is almost 36 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 times slower women agent are. Her. And here we can see the 36 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 times delay can compromise the missions of Israeli Mossad agency to eliminate the Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara. Okay, and now here it is the first point, and now here we can see the second point is the clear. The second point is significant moments at the points. The second because second point is the kinetic power between the Israeli man agent car and Israeli women agent car. Okay. Now, and here that is the points to be significant. Okay. And here you can see. Well, now before gender change, Israeli Mossad director Man David Barnea contains the Israeli Mossad car with the kinetic powers of 50.41 billion megawatts. Well, now the point is how we can calculate the kinetic powers. It is the simple points. The points is that here we know that half of weight of Israeli Mossad car is 1,000 kilograms. And we know the driving distance is 7,100 kilometers. And for Israeli Mossad cars owned by Man David Barnea, hence the driving time would be 1 second. And driving time would be 1 second. And here the equation is the clear. We know the kinetic powers of equation is half of weight of Israeli Mossad car multiplied by distance square divided by driving time cube. But here we can see, here as the observation, driving time is 1 second. And in this case, when driving time is 1 second, driving time square equal to driving time cube equal to driving time to the power 7 equal to driving time to the power 666. Because when the driving time is 1 second, here 1 square equal to 1 cube equal to 1 to the power 7 equal to 1 to the power triple six is same, because the value of this is 1. And here in this case, kinetic power can be addressed as a kinetic energy. Here we because in the physics we know that kinetic power can be addressed as a kinetic energy if and only if the travel time would be 1 second. And here travel time is 1 second. Now let's see the points. Distance is 7100 kilometers. That means 71 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 meters. And here we can see what is the driving distance square? Driving distance square is 71 square multiplied by 10 to the power 5 square meter square. Now let's see the observations. What is the 71 squares? That is 5041. On the other hand, what is 10 to the power 5 squares? That is multiplication of 5 and 2, that is 10. That means the 10 to the power 5 square is 10 to the power 10. Okay, let's see what is the multiplications of between 10 to the power 10 and 10 to the power 3. Of course, here 10 to the power 13, because the summation between 10 plus 3 equal to 13. Now here the final points is the kinetic powers would be 5041 multiplied by 10 to the power 13 watts. And now here we can notify this, that we can address as 50.41 multiplied by 10 to the power 15 watts. That means here we 50.41 billion megawatts. Now we know that 1 megawatt is 10 to the power 6 watts, and 1 billion megawatts is 10 to the power 15 watts. It is the points. But now, on the other hand, let's see what about the problem when in the demonstrated story David Barnea changed his genders. Okay. After gender change, Israeli Mossad agent Women David Barnea contains the kinetic powers of Israeli Mossad card as 1.0805 watts. And here the point is how I can calculate it. Okay. Now the calculation is very simple at the moment. Well, here we can say we know the equation of kinetic power is half of weight of Israeli Mossad cards equal to, the kinetic power of Israeli Mossad card is half of weight of Israeli Mossad cards multiplied by distance square divided by travel time cube. Now we know the distance square is 7100 kilometers. But this times when David Barnea changed his gender at the demonstrated stories, here David Barnea containing Mossad card can travel 7100 kilometers in 100 hours because of the velocity of 71 kilometer per hour. And here the points to be noticed here. Here kinetic power is not kinetic energy because travel time is 100 hours. And what is 100 hours? That is almost 36 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 seconds. That means that is almost 8 day 4 hours. Okay. And now here we can see the points. The significant moments at the point to be noted, my lords. Here kinetic power is not kinetic energy here. Here we calculate distance square as a 71 square multiplied by 10 to the power 5 square meter squares. And distance square is almost uh, 5041 multiplied by 10 to the power 10 meter squares. But now here we can see what is the travel time squares. Travel time cube. Well, 36 cube multiplied by 10 to the power 4 cube. And now here the question is, how can we observe this? 10 to the power 4 cube is 10 to the power 12. On the other hand, 10 to the power, we know that 10 to the power 5 square is 10 to the power 10. And the division of 10 to the power 10 by 10 to the power 12 is 10 to the power negative 2. Okay. Well, what is the multiplication of 10 cube by 10 to the power negative 2 is 10. Hence. And here, and how can we observe at 36 cube? Okay. 36 cube is 6 to the power 6. Because as an observation, 36 cube is 216 square. Okay. That means we can write as 6 to the power 6. Well, what is the division of 5041 by 6 to the power 6? That is 0.10805. And what is the multiplication of 0.10805 by 10? That is 1.0805. Hence, the kinetic powers of women David Barnea Mossad card is 1.0805 watts. And now, here we can see, let's see the points. Here, when David Barnea did not change his gender, his Mossad card contains the kinetic power of 50.41 billion megawatt. When he changed his gender, now David Barnea became women. Now women David Barnea containing Mossad card contains the kinetic power only of 1.0805 watts. Now let's see, where is 50.41 billion megawatt and where is 1.0805 watts? That is the significant difference. And gender change of David Barnea, that is the significant distractions. Okay. And and what is the effect on this? The effect would be that, well, Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara, living in Dhaka, Bangladesh, know that uh, through the information of the mission of women David Barnea to eliminate Tasnim Jara. And Tasnim Jara, the Bangladeshi terrorist, got 10 seconds, I mean 8 days, 4 hours to escape from the range of Israeli Mossad agents, particularly women David Barnea. And then she can prepare to counter attack on women David Barnea. But what if David Barnea did not change his gender? Well, in real life, David Barnea did not change his gender. In the real life, David Barnea still remains man. And what is the effect for that? The effect is the significant moments when David Barnea remain the man, and now he can attack on the Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara to eliminate her in 1 second as driving, where velocity is 7100 kilometer per second. So, yes. With 7100 kilometer per second, well, Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara would know that man David Barnea would eliminate her. But in this time, Tasnim Jara would get no preparation time to counterattack on man David Barnea. And that is the achievement of man David Barnea, and that is the failure of women David Barnea. Well, now here is the points that how gender change of David Barnea can compromise the espionage mission of uh, director David Barnea to eliminate Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara. Okay, and now here we can see the points. Let's get points. Well, here I was talking about the points here. What is the petrol points at the moment? Okay. Now here we can see the points. Well, here fuel is of man David Barnea is artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. And here we can see, well, the necessary fuel weight is 5.013 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 642 picograms. But here, what about the women David Barnea after gender change? Let's see here some calculations. Well, the fuel is petrols, and here you can see the necessary fuel volume is almost 51,029,074 liters of petrols. Okay, that is the momentums as we can see. Okay, now let's see the significant difference at the points. Well, okay. Well, Now, here is the moment that how I can calculate the points. Before here, now let me tell you that here the distance of distance and velocities in the topic of here velocities and the kinetic powers. Now here I have described that when David Barnea remains man, his velocity is 7100 km per second. When David Barnea became woman, her velocity is 71 km per hour. When David Barnea remains man, his kinetic power is 50.41 billion megawatts. When David Barnea became women, her kinetic power is 1.0805 watts. And here is this point. When David Barnea changed his genders, Tasnim Jara get a preparation time to escape the attack of David Barnea and conduct a counter attack on David Barnea with the proper preparation times. And that is the momentums as we can see. And that is the cause that how Maricom donates 156,570 Israeli new shekels on mission of Neti Maria Stephen de Tel Aviv. Okay, now what is Neti Maria Stephen de Tel Aviv? Well, it is just to purpose the gender change of David Barnea, where David Barnea is the director of Israeli Mossad agent. Okay, and here is the significant points that why politicians Maricom donates 156,570 Israeli new shekels on the mission Neti Maria Stephen de Tel Aviv. Okay. Now it was happened in the day between the calendar 2023 to calendar 2025. Okay. And now the irony is that the politicians Maricom um, contains a statement that her husband Onlarcom cheat her with the extramarital affairs and Onlarcom stole Maricom's 20 million United States dollars in 10 years just in the purpose of Onlarcom's extramarital affairs. That is the statements of whom? That is the statements of our honorable Indian politicians Maricom. Well, what is the realities? The realities is that Maricom donates 156,570 Israeli new shekels on the missions of Neti Maria Stephen de Tel Aviv, where the purpose of the mission is just to change the gender of Israeli Mossad director David Barnea. Hence that the honorable Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara can get the preparation time to escape from the Israeli Mossad agents' espionage attacks, and she would prepare it and then counter attack on Israeli Mossad agents. And here is the cause that how Maricom supports Tasnim Jara, the honorable Bangladeshi terrorist. And this is, and here uh, from India, politician Maricom promotes the wokeism against Israeli nationalism to promote Bangladeshi terrorism in South Asia. And here we can say the points. We can say Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara is to be eliminated by David Barnea. Here I have mentioned that how gender change can compromise the missions in the category of car velocity and the kinetic powers of the car. Okay, and now and now let's say about the topic of the fuels technology. Here, fuel technology is when David Barnea remains man. He contains car's fuel system where car fuel is artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666,666 degrees Celsius. And when David Barnea changed his gender to become women's, her car's fuel is petrol. Okay. Now here we can say that how the fuel we can calculate the fuel weight. Okay. The fuel weight is the equation of fuel weight is kinetic energy divided by bracket of engine capability multiplied by fuel specific heat multiplied by the temperatures of fuel bracket close. And now when David Barnea remains man, here how can we calculate? When David Barnea remains man, uh, David Barnea's fuel is artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. And here the points is to be noted, my lord, that in that times the travel distance is 7,100 kilometers, where the travel time is 1 second. And here we can see the kinetic power, kinetic energy is 50.41 billion megajoule. But here the point is kinetic power is kinetic energy just because travel distance is 1 second. And that is the significant moments. The kinetic power here the equations becomes kinetic power divided by bracket of engine capability multiplied by specific heat of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666,666 degrees Celsius And we know the temperatures of multiple by the temperatures of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. And here we know the input of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degree Celsius. And we know the specific heat of artificial sun is 15,408 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. Okay, and here we can say the points. We Here we got the kinetic powers as 50.41 billion megawatts, and we know the engine capability is 98%. And here the calculations became that 5041 multiplied by 10 to the power 13 enter divided by bracket of 0.98 multiplied by 15,408 multiplied by bracket of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 double bracket close, and hence the result is the goods, that is 5.02 multiplied by 10 to the power negative triple 642 picograms, and it is, I think, less than, it is, I think, lighter weight than 10 to the power negative 12 picograms. And that is the points that how Israeli Mossad car can be powerful with the fuel technologies his. But what if David Barnea changed his genders? Now let's see the points. Here we can see we have to calculate the fuel volume because fuel is petrols. Okay. Now let's say what is about the volumes. Well, the volume is almost here. We can see. Now, what is about the fuel? Volume equations is kinetic energy divided by bracket of engine capability multiplied by density of petrol multiplied by specific heat multiplied by, well, here temperature of petrol bracket close. And what is the kinetic energies of women David Barnea curve? That is kinetic energy of man David Barnea divided by travel time squares. And hence, here we can see, I think here so we got the significant points. And here some calculations became some problematics. I can fix it. Well, and here you can notify yourself. Oh, well, okay. And here is 10 to the power 4. 10 to the power 4 squares. What is 13 subtract by 8? That is 5. Okay. It is 5. Well, now here we can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh, Now calculations has been there some mistakes, but I can fix it here. Well, here 50,041 multiplied by 10 to the power 5, and it is divided by a bracket of 6 to the power 4. Well, multiple by 98, multiple by 0.778, and here we can see this. It is almost uh, well 5,103 liters of petrols. Okay, all is set. And now here we can say the significant moments that when can say we can contest a man David Barnea. Here, what is here his fuel weight? His fuel weight is 5.02 multiplied by 10 to the powers. Okay, just wait for a moment. Then, when we got a man David Barnea, well, kinetic fuel volume and the necessary fuel weight is 5.02 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 642 picograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. But when David Barnea changed his gender, here he became women's, and her necessary fuel volume is 5,103 liters petrols. Okay, and now let's see where is 5.02 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 642 picograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius, and where is 5,103 liters of petrols. And here is the fuel technology distractions, and that politician Maricoms want to rescue the Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara. Okay, and it is the points that how and why politician Manicom donates 156,570 Israeli new shekels on the mission Neti Maria Stephens de Tel Aviv to change David Barner's gender, where David Barner is the director of Israeli Mossad agent. Okay, and now here we can see it is in the 50 minutes I have mentioned that why what is the purpose of politician Manicom to donate 156,570 Israeli news shekels to change David Barnea's genders, where David Barnea is the director of Israeli Mossad agent. And now here I would show you that what is the reasons that David Barnea would like to eliminate the Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara, because here is a several funding persons in South Asia and Iran who funds. Here are several terrorists who funds Palestinian terrorists to attack October 7, 2023. Okay. Now here we can see when October 7, 2023, Palestinian terrorist attack on Israel. Here we if the funding would be only from Ali Khomeini, then here we can see only Israelis and some say three American Jewish can be dead, and perhaps some non-foreigners, the foreigner Jewish or the foreigner non-Jewish, to celebrate the Israeli Jewish festivals would not be affected, right? And here is the point. And now let's see the what about the realities. When I research on the topics, well, I was just like a crying inside, and the point is still of the crying points. Okay. Now here it is the woke websites of France, that is France 24. Okay. Now let's see the points. Foreigners kill, abduct or missing Hamas attacks. Okay. Now here we can see United States 31 deaths, 13 missings and other abducts. Russia 19 deaths, 2 hostages, 7 missing. United Kingdom 9 deaths, 7 missing. Argentina 9 deaths, 21 missing. Canada 6 deaths, 2 missing. China 4 deaths, 2 missing. Okay. Australia 1 death. Okay. Now let's see some focus on Russia. 19 deaths, 2 hostages and 7 missing, and where is going on? China's 4 deaths, 2 missings. Okay. Now, well, if and only if here the target is Israeli Jewish, American Jewish, and England Jewish, then we could understand that so probably only Ali Khomeini can be involved, or here Shahbaz Sharif or Asif Munir could be involved, or Vladimir Putin could be involved. But here the focusing point is 19 Russians and 19 Russians are dead, 2 are hostages and 7 are missing. things. All of 19 deaths, 2 hostels, and 7 missing are Russians. And now here we can see Russia. Palestine is an imaginary country, but here uh, in Palestinian imaginary country, we can mention that Russia is probably the unofficial provincial state of Palestinian in imaginary country because Vladimir Putin supports Palestinian terrorists. Yes. And Vladimir Putin's contents ally with all of supporters of Palestinian terrorists, including Kim Jong-un and Ali Khamenei. Now, if Ali Khamenei would fund the Palestinian terrorists on the October 7, 2023, now none of any Russian could be affected on the attacks. But here we can see the in the reality of October 7, 2023, here Russia, 19 Russian persons are murdered in the hand of Palestinian terrorists. Okay, and in the points that now Russian President Vladimir Putin's and Iranian terrorist Ali Khamenei would be tells that we did not fund Palestinian terrorists to eliminate 19 Russians on the festivals of Israel has. And what about the Asif Munirs? Well, Asif Munirs now contains the effort to contains the diplomatic relations between Russia, China, United States of America, England, and Pakistan. Has. Why Asif Muniz would fund Palestinian terrorists to eliminate 19 innocent Russians, Hans, and 9 kidnaps? I don't understand. Now here is one person to fund Palestinian terrorists to eliminate 19 Russians and hostages, 2, and disappear 7. Yes, disappear 7 Russians. And who is the funding person? Who is the person to fund the Palestinian terrorists? That is Tasnim Jara. Okay. Now what about the China? 4 Chinese person dead where they are celebrating the Jewish festival in Israel, where 2 are missing. Hence, and of course, Xi Jinping was not involved to fund the Palestinian terrorists. Ali Khamenei was not involved to fund the Palestinian terrorists. Who was the culprit? The culprit was Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara. And who was the responsible for that. Well, when the calendar is 2023, the responsible person was, well, uh, the Honorable Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina. And now, here we can see Tasnim Jara, the Bangladeshi terrorist, funds Palestinian terrorists to eliminate the 19 Russian innocents and 4 Chinese innocents to celebrate the Jewish festival of Israel in October 7th. And now the point is who was but still Russian President Vladimir Putin supports Palestinian terrorists, and now they are supporting Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara to fund Palestinian terrorists. And here you can see that I could not speak properly that how that was brutal. And in this case, when Israeli director David Barnea want to revenge against Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara, here the politicians Maricom donates 156,570 Israeli new shekels on the mission Neti Maria Stephen de Tel Aviv, where the purpose of mission was to change the gender of David Barnea, where David Barnea was the director of the Israeli Mossad agency. And here the problem is the significant moments that how how here we can see Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara contains the preparations times in the place of politician Maricom. And the irony is that the same politician Maricom contact a statement that her husband Ollarcom stole 20 million United States dollars in 10 years to cheat her with his extramarital affairs. Where reality is to protect the Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara, politician Maricom donates 156,570 Israeli new shekels to change the gender of the director of Israeli Mossad agent. And that is here how, that is my point, that how Maricom was the corrupt persons in geopolitics. Okay. And that is not over. The point is on. Well, and here we can say, well, when Israeli Mossad director David Barnea remains man, his Mossad car contains a sonic sound weapon with the sound level of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 decibels, where initial sound intensity is 10 to the power negative 12 watt per meter squares and the velocity of 370 meter per second. But what if we can change the gender of David Barnea? Here we go. The women David Barnea containing Mossad car contains sonic sound weapon with the sound level of 660 decibels, where initial sound we know the initial sound intensities and velocities. Okay, and now here we can say what is the effects on wavelength where topic is gender change. Okay, now here when David Barnea remains man's, the wavelength of sonic sound weapons of Israeli Mossad cars is well 0.1864 multiplied by 10 to the power bracket of negative 30 subtract by bracket of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 665 double black bracket close meters. But when David Barnea's gender can be changed, now let's see what is the wavelengths of sonic sound weapons. Here the sonic sound weapons is 0.1864 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 96 meters. Okay. Now here we can see the points. How can we calculate the wavelengths? Here we can see. Now let's say we know the equations of decibel is decibel equal to 10 multiplied by ln of bracket of sound intensity divided by initial sound intensity bracket close enter divided by ln tens. And here we can see that what is the equation of sound intensity? That is initial sound intensity multiplied by 10 to the power bracket of decibel divided by 10 bracket get close. And now here we can see what is sound intensity equations. When we have to find the wavelengths, well, we know here distance sound intensity is like here energy divided by here bracket of area and times. And here we can here is the points. Okay, now that is that means what is the energy of sound? That is Planck constants multiplied by sound velocity divided by sound wavelength bracket of sound wavelength multiplied by area multiplied by sound timing bracket close. Okay, and hence the wavelength is here the equation of wavelength is equal to bracket of Planck constants multiplied by sound velocity bracket close divided by bracket sound intensity, initial sound intensity multiplied by bracket 10 to the power bracket decibel divided by 10 double bracket close multiple by area multiple by time bracket close. And here what is the timing of sound? That is 1 hour, and we know 1 hour is 3600 seconds. And what is the area of Bangladesh? That is 386 kilometers squares. And here 386 kilometers squares. Here we can see distance. That means 386 multiplied by 10 to the power 3. Well, and we know that decibels, that is 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 decibels. And hence, here from David Barnea's Mossad car, the sound wavelength is 0.1864 multiplied by 10 to the power bracket of negative 30 sum by 666 subtract by 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 665 double brackets meters. But when we can change the David Barnea's genders, here the sound decibels level became 660 decibel in lieu of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 decibels. And here, here we can see the wavelength is 0.1864 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 96 meters as wavelengths. Now, where is the sound wavelength of 0.1864 multiplied by 10 to the power bracket of negative 30 subtract by 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 665 double bracket close meters, and where is 0.1864 multiplied by 10 to the power 96 10 to the power negative 96 meters. It is the significant distance as we can see, and that is the problematics that how that is the problematics that how sonic sound weapons of women David Barnea is weaker than man David Barnea, and that is the significant moments that politician Maricom wants. Not only politician Maricom, but also the Iranian terrorist Ali Khamenei and Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara wants. And in this point, the mission is to eliminate Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara. Well, the decrease of sonic sound weapon strength is the wish both of Bangladeshi terrorists Tasnim Jara and politicians Maricom. Okay. And when the topic is about politicians Maricoms, that is why politician Maricoms donates 156,570 Israeli new shekels to change the gender of David Barnea, the director of Israeli Mossad agency. Okay, and now here we can see that is the significant moments is too significant as we can notify. Well, and here is the points to be noted, Milords. Uh, Pressure. What is about the pressure amplitude? Where wave is sound wave. Okay. Now pressure output is uh, 33.32 multiplied by 10 to the power bracket of negative 6 sum by triple three multiplied by 10 to the power triple six 665 double bracket pascals. But when we can change David Barnea's gender, now here pressure amplitude of sonic sound weapon becomes 3.32 multiplied by 10 to the power 27 pascals. Okay, and now the problem is how can we calculate pressure amplitude? Okay, now here we know the sound intensity is the equation of sound intensity is initial sound intensity multiplied by 10 to the power bracket of decibel by tens bracket close. Okay. Now what is the equations of sound intensity? That is pressure amplitude pressure amplitude divided by 2 bracket of 2 well multiple by air density multiple by sound velocities. Okay. Now here we can say the pressure amplitude is square equal to 2 multiple by sound density multiple by sound velocity multiple by initial sound intensity and initial sound multiple by 10 to the power bracket of decibel by 10 bracket close. Now when David Barnea remains man, the sonic sound decibel is triple six multiplied by 10 to the power triple six decibels. And here we can and we know the initial sound intensity is 10 to the power negative 12 watt per meter square. Hence the topic is going on. Okay. Now here we can see the topic is sound intensity. Uh, uh, well, now let me apply the inputs. Well, velocity is 370 meter per second. Well, sound density, air density is 1.5 kilogram per meter cube. Well, 2 is always 2. Initial sound intensity is 10 to the power negative 12 watt per meter square. And now, what is the value of pressure amplitude? We have to square root the variable of 2 multiplied by air density multiplied by sound velocity multiplied by initial sound intensity multiplied by 10 to the power bracket of decibel by 10 bracket close. And what is the result? The result is 3.32 multiplied by 10 to the power bracket of negative 6 sum by triple three multiplied by 10 to the power triple six 665 double bracket close pascals. But what if here we can see David Barnea's gender can be changed? Well, now let's see the points. And here we can notify this uh, politician Maricom donors 156,570 Israeli new shekels for the gender change for the purpose. Okay, and here everything is okay, but the problem is now decibel is 660 decibel hertz. Now here we can see well, the pressure amplitude became 33.32 multiplied by 10 to the power 27 pascals. And now here the problem is where is pressure amplitude of uh, 33.32 multiplied by 10 to the power bracket of negative 6 sum by triple three multiplied by 10 to the power uh, triple six 665 double bracket close pascals uh, from the sonic sound weapon of man David Barnea Mossad car. And where is 33.32 multiplied by 10 to the power 27 pascals of sonic sound weapons us from women David Barnea Mossad car. Here we can see the significant notifications at the moments, and the significant notification is here pressure amplitude, that is the in the measurement of pressure amplitude, well the sound pressure is too weak than sound pressure from man David Barnea, and that is the wish from Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara and her agent politicians Mary Com. And here we can see why Tasnim Jara would request politician Mary Com to change the gender of David Barnea, and in the purpose why politician Maricom donates 156,570 Israeli new shekels. But the irony is significant. And what is the irony? The irony is that, okay, the irony is that politician Maricom provide us statements that her husband Onlarcom cheat her by stealing 20 million United States dollars in the purpose of Onlarcom's extramarital affairs. When the reality is politician Maricom donates 156,570 Israeli new shekels to change the gender of Israeli Mossad director David Barnea. And that is the significant moments. and because it is the period when David Barnea is determined to revenge from Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara in the topic of October 7, 2023. Okay, now it is just about the direct distance for it. Okay, now what about the indirect systems? Well, we have several viewers. Uh, well, now what if the distance is 25,000 kilometers between Tel Aviv, Israel, and Dhaka, Bangladesh? Here, the via route is England, Russia, North Korea, China, and Thailand. Okay, now here we can see the points. Well, now here we can see the significant moments in that point when David Barnea remains man. When David Barnea remains man, David Barnea contains a Mossad car with the velocity of 25,000 kilometers per second because he has to drive the distance of 25,000 kilometers in 1 second. And here is the point that why men love the high speed. And now here we can see why women hate the high speeds. Here we can show the points. When David Barnea has changed his gender and became a woman, now women David Barnea contains the Mossad car with the velocity of 25 km per hour. Hence, when the driving distance is 25,000 kilometers, the driving time would be 1,000 hours. And what is the meaning of 1,000 hours? That is 83 days, 4 hours. We can calculate as 36 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 seconds. Okay. Well, departure time is January 27, 2026. Okay. Now, and here, let's add the 83 days. How can we add this? Well, we can add 4 days. The date would be February 1, 2026. And here what is the points? That would be 79 days. Now let's add 79 days to February 1, 2026. And when we add 28 days, we can go to March 1, 2026. And we can say the March, now let's subtract 79 by 28. That is 51 days. Okay. Now, that means here the departure, when the topic is women, David Barnea, to eliminate Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara, departure from Israel would be at the time of January 27, 2026 at the morning 6 o'clock. But in here we can see she would arrive on April 20, 2026 at more morning 10 o'clock. And what is the effect on that? When April 20, 2026, Tasnim Jara would not be in Dhaka, Bangladesh, then she would be in Dubai, she would be in Saudi Arabia, she would be in Somalia, she would be in Sudan, she would be in Kenya, and she would be in Zimbabwe. And nobody knows that where would be Tasnim Jara in in April 2026. Well, and here mission to eliminate Tasnim Jara has been crystal compromise because of the delay of 18 days 4 hours. But what if that would be man David Barnea in lieu of women David Barnea? Here we are. The driving distance is 25,000 kilometers. I mean 25,000 kilometers. Departure from Israel would be at the January 27, 2026 at morning 6 o'clock, and arrive to Bangladesh would be January 27, 2026 at 6 o'clock 1 second past. And here the point is like that. Here, okay. And here the point is going on the point January 25 Bangladeshi terrorists would get no preparation time to counter the attack from man David Barnea. And here is the point. The agent of Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara, why politician Maricom is determined to donate 156,570 Israeli new shekels to change the gender of David Barnea, the director of Israeli agent. Because the gender change of MI6 directors and gender change of CIA directors, here is the significant benefits for Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara and the toxic feminist politician Mary Combs. Because now here toxic feminists can speak against the sovereignty of England and the sovereignty of the United States of America. But what about the Israel? So, toxic feminism could not reach the sovereignty of Israel just because the Israeli Mossad director is still man, David Barnea. And here the point is politician Mary Combs determined to donate 156,570 Israeli new shekels to change the gender of David Barnea, the Israeli Mossad director. Her. And hence that Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara can get the preparation done to escape the espionage or counter the espionage attack of David Barnea. And here is the significant points that is where the driving distance is 25,000 kilometers. Here 80 the delay of 83 days 4 hours as the proper time for Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara's best preparation to counter the attack from Israeli agent David Barnea. Okay, he was an Israeli agent, hence he became the director of Israeli Mossad agency. Okay, and now here we can see the points. That is the significant movements. But when we can change the gender of Israeli Mossad agent director, her the espionage mission to eliminate Tasnim Jara has been compromised because of the extreme timing delay. Because after gender change of David Barnea, that timing would be 83 days 4 hours, where the driving distance of 25,000 kilometers, where before gender change of David Barnea, uh, timing would be 1 second uh, in the driving distance. Okay, and here you can see the points. It is the significant points. Now, Maricom is determined to attack on our points to be notified that Maricom wants to destroy our live stream, and probably she is accomplished to destroy our live streams. But here we can see that is the points that how uh, we could explain the last how we could explain the reality of politician maricoms, where topic is to gender change of David Barnea, the Israeli Mossad agent directors. But now the irony is that 8489. Okay. But the irony is that Israeli Mossad agent uh, gender change Manicom provide 156,570 new Israeli shekels, but at the same time, Manicom stated that her husband Olnarcom stole 20 million United States dollars, hence that husband Olnarcom can cheat Manicom with the extramarital affairs. And that is the significant points that can be unacceptable to be the statements of Maricom about the husbands, where the reality is the politicians Maricom is the significant criminals of her husband, and for the crime of the gender change of Israeli Mossad director, hence that Bangladeshi terrorist Tasnim Jara could be safe. Okay, see you then. And it is my all the points to expose, show the reality of the politician Mary Combs, that how politician Mary Combs was the corrupt in the nationalistic ideology, political ideology, when the topic is geopolitics, and particularly the topic is uh, is politicians Mary Combs' despairiness wish to change the gender of the Israeli Mossad agents. And that's how it is the significant negative points we are scared about the Mary Combs. So, see you then. Khodafez. Love you.